Calendar is now approaching July and the middle of July at that, and over the next 2 weeks we will see some typically hot temperatures building up specifically into the Great Plains. Mostly not the northern Great Plains, if by that you mean North Dakota, but anything south of North Dakota will likely have a continuation of the hot summer that we've been having. And with that in mind, I'm going to talk about the potential for drought conditions out of the Rocky Mountains and into the Central Plains and where that is likely to be expanding. And there is a storm track. There is an area that is most favorable for thunderstorms in this particular pattern. We'll take a look at where that's going to be. Let's start off with the general weather pattern as we go through this 4th of July week. And we've got a little bit of ridging in the middle of the country, hot temperatures down south. No real cool weather anywhere except the coastal areas of the Pacific Northwest. There's a narrow region of pretty warm air, 70s and a few 80s, stretching up into western Canada. And most of the northern plains is relatively warm, with temperatures this week for the most part in the 70s and 80s. That hot weather will kind of try to build northward a little bit, and yeah, we may in fact get a couple of fairly hot days, but I don't look for it to be consistent anywhere from, except from about the South Dakota, parts of South Dakota southward. A lot of this is going to be 90s and 100s. Southeast looks very hot, swelteringly hot this week. As the week goes along toward the end of the week, continued troughing will keep New England fairly cool, but it will pull that warm air back into the central part of the country, southwestern U.S. By the weekend after the 4th, look for some pretty hot weather with this ridging up into the northern plains. There may even be a brief surge of hot weather into North Dakota, though I don't look for anything other than temporary hot weather. 2 or 3 days of that kind of stuff, short-term warm weather. Toward the end of the period, we'll start to see some ridging in the northeast. That'll push up a little bit of warm temperatures there, but there may be a little bit of a tropical low, I don't mean a tropical storm, but a large tropical type circulation that will likely keep the east coast relatively cool and also fairly wet and stormy. From Florida and Georgia up through the Carolinas, that's where the main storm track is expected to be. This first week, there will be some storms out of the northern plains at times. 2 or 3 rounds, very likely. Monsoonal flow will bring some scattered thunder showers into New Mexico and Colorado. Southern plains, the southwest look dry. And then the second week, kind of the same areas. Some parts of the eastern northern plains and then the eastern United States look fairly stormy. Dry weather will likely expand a little bit. And there are some indications that the drought conditions will actually be able to expand a bit out of the southern plains. And we'll see an eastward shift there. Also, the Pacific Northwest looking dry. Looks like most of the Dakotas not too bad.